What is up, everybody, and welcome back to Zachary Reality. I am your host, Zachary Reality, and we are here live on Monday night after the episode to recap this night's episode of The Bachelor, episode 6. This episode was crazy because so many girls went home. Like, literally half the group was cut in half. It was kind of crazy. I think there was like 4 girls sent home tonight, and now we're down to 6. So going into tonight, we had 10 girls, and we really picking down at the wire. So we're going to get all into it. So thank you all so much for joining live. I know I don't usually do these lives late at night. So appreciate y'all tuning in. If not, you can always watch after. Give this video a thumbs up, hit subscribe. We'll also do another live tomorrow on my YouTube channel with Bachelor alum Courtney Robertson to talk more about the episode, but we don't have a time scheduled yet for tomorrow. So I'll let you know in the morning. But I wanted to come on here and just give all of my thoughts on the episode while it was fresh in my brain tonight. So let's get right into it. Welcome back. Oh my God, guys, I'm obsessed with Joey. He's so cute. And he started this episode off like really crying. He was just like really sad that like he didn't know if he was like the perfect bachelor, and he didn't know if he was going to be able to like, go through with this process and if it was going to work. I felt like that was kind of acting for a second. I don't want to like invalidate his feelings, right? Like, we love him, we stand, but I'm just like, come on, like what? Like, that it just felt like it came out of nowhere because he's been so positive every single week. And this was like the turning point this week where things just got so serious. And that was like evident with the fact that there was no girl drama this week. I think some of us maybe expected the drama between Leia and maybe Maria to kind of continue in some aspect, and potentially Jess. I mean, last week's episode, Jess had that meltdown over Maria. Jess was pissed that Maria stole him at the rose ceremony when she already had a rose. So I think that this week, the producers or the editors, whoever, just didn't want to focus on the girls' drama. And it was really about the deep connections and how serious this week was. And that was evident with Joey crying and, saying how serious he takes this. And it was cute. I love what Rachel said at the end of the episode when she was like, "You're doing everything right. You're the perfect bachelor. Like, calm down." And Joey was like, "Wow, like Rachel's the only one who said nice things to me tonight." Everything Rachel said, I agree with. Joey is literally the best bachelor. I love watching him. I'm like obsessed. So I sent him a DM. I have never DM'd Joey before. And I said, and we shall read word for word, because this is the tea. No, it's not the tea. I just said, "I love watching you as the bachelor." And he said, "Thank you. Glad you're enjoying this season." And I said, "Yeah, you're honestly the best bachelor in years, and I mean it." And then he said, "I really do appreciate the kind words more than you know," with a cry emoji. It was so cute. Like, I feel like we're in love now. I didn't answer him. I just like double tapped it because he didn't follow me. Not that he has to, but I really want to meet Joey one day. I was thinking about like all the bachelors I've met and the bachelorettes, and I love to meet every single one of them, especially when the season's on. And I have not met Joey yet, and I'm dying to meet him. And I'm also dying to meet Maria. Can we all just agree that Maria is so iconic and hilarious and just like great TV? She's so much fun to watch. And this past week, there was some discussions about the Bachelorette. Who could it be? We're winding things down. They're probably going to figure it out soon internally and then announce it maybe at the Women Tell All or at after the final rose, which is probably not for a month. But those conversations are definitely starting to be had. And I feel like there has been a lot of people online campaigning for Maria to be the Bachelorette. I am one of those people. I think that she would just be a Bachelorette that we've never seen before. There's just something so magnetic about Maria. She's just such a star, just watching her on the screen, that her as a bachelorette would be so captivating and so interesting and such a crazy season. And after watching her one-on-one date with Joey, I was kind of like, wait, maybe I want them to fall in love because they're so cute. We'll get to their date in a few. But Maria as the bachelorette would be such a season. So I'm totally here for that. But this week started off in Montreal, Canada. So the girls are girling in Canada. I was kind of confused why they left Europe so quickly. And then when we got to Canada, it was all about like French and like speaking French. And I just like don't understand. Do they speak French in Montreal? Like, really? I thought that was kind of silly, but whatever. The group date happened, and there is going to be 2 one-on-ones this week. which is exciting. And they did the group date first, and they had on Daisy, they had Caitlin, Jess, Leia, a bunch of the girls. They all had their own times with Joey. The group date was like fun. They were like, what were they playing, hockey or something? I don't know. They were making weird, oh yeah, they were playing hockey. They were making weird like French fry dips. And Jen, she made like this weird French fry dip with like chocolate and pineapple. And Joey said it was like a 4, but he just like really loves how Jen just like pays attention to him and like how she always makes things feel really special. I love Jen. I think Jen's my second favorite on the show after Maria. Watching Jen is just like, she's so beautiful. I would love to see her as the Bachelorette too. She also got the group date rose. So shout out Jen. He could have gave it to anyone. He had really good conversations with Caitlin. He had really good conversations with Kelsey A, who was also struggling on the group date. Kelsey A was feeling like invalidated and feeling forgotten about. And so was Jess, which we're going to get to. And the vibe was just somber on the group date because everyone was taking it so seriously. Oh, we have Shelby in the live chat. She says, I think Rachel can make a great Bachelorette for sure. Maybe. I never really thought about Rachel as Bachelorette. I'm honestly a little shocked that Rachel is like, I mean, she always had a storyline and she's definitely like really likable and cool. I guess I just didn't know if I expected her to like make it this far, but now I feel like it's so clear that she could be top 4. I mean, she's made it to the top 6, which is like a pretty big deal. We also saw Lexi on the group date start with her hesitations, but I do want to talk about Jess first because Jess was sent home on the group date. A few of the girls were saying like, I'm falling in love with you, like Jen and then Kelsey A. But when Jess said it, it just struck a nerve with him where like, now that this is a serious week, if he's not feeling it, then he's going to send you home. And I feel like if Jess didn't say that she was starting to fall for him, maybe he wouldn't have sent her home right then and there. Maybe he would have waited until the rose ceremony to send her home. But because she put her feelings out there like that, how could he lie to her? How could he be fake? And that's what he said when he sent her home. He was like, I just can't fake it. When you know, you know. And like, when someone tells you that they're falling for you, you almost can like picture a life with them. And he just like couldn't picture it with Jess. So he decided to send her home. And I think it was her time. I don't think anyone was shocked that Jess was sent home tonight. I'm more shocked that like there was no dramatics tonight and there was no girl drama. So I can't wait to hear what Jess has to say about everything on the Women Tell All. She gone now. She gone. I don't know if you guys saw like Nick Viall was like being critical of Joey for being too nice and being like a people pleaser and like sending people home like based on the rose ceremonies and like the format of the show. And Nick was just probably giving his opinion. I didn't listen to that recap. I do listen to his podcast sometimes, but I didn't catch that one. But I respect Nick's opinion. He's allowed to have an opinion, but obviously the internet was so outraged because it's just like, why are you coming for Joey like that? Like, what do you mean he's like too perfect? Like, that was just such a bad opinion by Nick. Like, I appreciate his take, but like totally disagree. Joey is literally like the best bachelor ever, like Rachel said. And he's doing things the way he wants. And this week's episode, he proved Nick wrong. And maybe that was like a little teaser. Maybe Nick knew. But this week, things were definitely different because somebody sent themselves home via Lexi, and then Jess got sent home on the group date. So Nick was right. Like this season, and I kind of was thinking about that too. This season did have a lot of like the usual. Like there was no one sending themselves home. I guess Lauren, the older sister, Allison's older sister, but there wasn't like any crazy send-offs yet. But the season is just like getting into the end. Like, of course, someone else is going to send themselves home, you know? Just wait. The drama is dramaing. Did Daisy go home on The Bachelor? Wendy, who is tuning in live, says, no, Daisy is still there. We're down to the top 6. And we're going to get to it. We're going to say who is there. I will just let you know right now. Kelsey A, Jen, Daisy, Maria, Kelsey T, and Rachel are the top 6. If you like have not figured that out, if you haven't seen that yet, if you haven't seen the episode. Do you have a theory of what happens with the final rose ceremony? Brittany says. My theory, I don't have like a specific theory. I just saw this like one theory online that seemed interesting about how like somebody sent themselves home who he was like supposed to pick, but she was like nervous that he was going to break up with her. So that's why she wanted to break up with him first. And it could be Daisy. I think he ends up with Daisy. I mean, I feel like the internet just keeps screaming it at me, the comment section, people coming up to me at bars telling me that Daisy could win. I'm not trying to spoil it for you guys. I don't know what's going to happen. It just seems like online a lot of people are saying Daisies. Wendy says, pick Maria, make up sorry. You're a pick when. Wendy, that is not proper grammar. Put your sentences together. So that happened all on the group date. And we'll get into the Lexi thing in a sec. She did kind of express her concerns with Joey on this group date about his timeline with when he wants to get engaged and when he wants to be married and when he wants to have children, which is 2 years, 2 more years, maybe 2 more years. Joey might not want to be a father until he is like 5 or 6 years from now, which is not working for Lexi. So she kind of talked about that, and she told Maria when Kelsey T was on her one-on-one date, we saw the friendship between Lexi and Maria. And I also thought it was interesting when Lexi sent herself home, the 2 girls that she confided in and wanted to say goodbye to were Maria and Daisy. So I think that's important to note that Maria did have a lot of friends in the house, and that maybe with the Sydney and Maria stuff, there was a few girls who were really team Sydney, like Jess and like Leia, and then there was some girls who were probably really neutral and unbothered about the whole thing. But it's definitely important to note that like Maria has friends. So whoever tried to paint that picture of her, that she was the problem in the house, it was never Maria. So let's get to Kelsey T's date. This is her first one-on-one date. So obviously she's so excited. I've been saying for a while that we've been sleeping on Kelsey T. She's gotten romantic music every single episode straight from the beginning. I have her in my top 4. She is just such a beautiful doll and I love to watch her. But after seeing her on the one-on-one date and seeing the connection with Joey, like obviously it's there, but it's not as strong as the other girls. I think that Kelsey T now could be in trouble next week since there's only 6 girls left, because even though they had a great date, I think he has stronger feelings for the other 5 remaining women and that she could be gone. So sometimes my opinions change every week after watching it. But they had a fun day because they did like acrobat stuff. I could never do that. It seems really hard. Like you have to be flexible and like be on a hula hoop. A for effort. I think it's fun to try. And that's like what dating is all about, especially during this elevated process on The Bachelor. It's just like doing these types of exercises and these trust things to really bond you together. So they had a really great date. And on the night portion, Kelsey opened up about this strained relationship she has with her dad, where it seems like her parents are divorced and her dad, raised her very religiously. We didn't know, they didn't say which religion. You can kind of assume it could be Christianity. I don't know. I don't know a lot about religion. I was raised half Jewish and half Catholic. My dad's Jewish, my mom is Catholic, and we celebrated all the holidays. And I didn't really go to church unless it was for like a family communion or something on my mom's side. I did go to temple. I went to Hebrew school. I had a bar mitzvah. I've been to Israel 3 times. I've lived in Israel 3 times for 3 summers. I did a birthright. I did an internship and I did another program. And I feel very connected to my Jewish side, but I'm not really a religious person. So I don't know how serious religion is for Kelsey's family, but obviously it seems very serious. I don't want to use the word like cults because I do respect everyone's religions, but the fact that her dad disowned her because she wanted to go to college and leave the religion seems a little crazy. I mean, like I said, no judgment, definitely want to show respect, but it's her own father. Like, what? What is going on? There is definitely more to the story. And if Kelsey gets a hometown date, which I don't even think she's going to anymore, that could have scared Joey off a little bit. But obviously she has to be open and vulnerable. And of course he's going to accept her for who she is. And it's okay. Not everyone has the best relationships with their family, and that's hard. And we support Kelsey always. But there's definitely more to the story there. So it'll be interesting if the show chooses to explore that with her hometown or if she gets sent home next week. I feel bad for her. I'm really glad to hear that her and her dad have reconnected and that they have made more of an effort. So that's good. I think life is all about perspective. And I think that her dad can learn a lot from her. She's a wonderful woman. She deserves true love. It's not going to be with Joey. I'm not convinced. But I really felt like the conversation was really authentic. And I commend Kelsey for being vulnerable. Let's move on to... should we go to Maria or should we go to Lexi? What do you guys think? I feel like we should go to Maria because that's what happened next. So Maria finally gets her one-on-one date, which I thought was a little shocking because she did get the two-on-one like a couple weeks ago, and that is kind of like a lot of extra time. She's also gotten group date roses, but maybe because they're in Canada, Maria like was chosen for this date. And like I was talking earlier, she's so spunky, she's so fun. Her and Joey's connection is so electrifying. I really feel like they have the hots for each other. And like after watching this date, me who was on a Maria Bachelorette campaign now is like, oh my God, wait, Maria and Joey? Like, yes, yes. They're so fun together. I guess they did a helicopter ride, which was fun for Maria because she has never seen Montreal like this before. That's what she said. That's what she said. And she said what she said. And I don't think I don't remember what she talked about on her dinner portion of the date. So I'm sorry. We'll talk more about it tomorrow on my podcast with Courtney. I know she opened up about like a serious situation last week. But of course she got the rose. There was so much romantic music. Someone was like performing something, and Maria has solidified herself in the top 6, as she should. Get that rose, girl. Get that rose. Do you guys love Maria as much as I do? Can't be the only one. So then Lexi decides to go to his hotel room and break up with him. Let's talk about Lexi's decision. We kind of just touched on what her proposition was and how she has this timeline for herself. And, you know, she has endocristinosis. I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong, where, you know, she might not be able to biologically have her own kids. She really wants to be a mom. That's her dream. That's what she wants. She wants to do it. She's looking for someone who is going to propose to her and marry her within a year or two. That's kind of what it seems like she's saying, because Joey's timeline to me seems normal. You know, he's 28, a couple years engaged. Of course, you just met on The Bachelor. Like, you date for a couple years, then you get engaged. You want to be married for a couple years. Like, I think that's a great timeline and a great plan for Joey, to be with someone for about 4 to 5 years, maybe 6, before having children. You know, you have your whole life to be a dad and have kids. And once you have kids forever. So it's like, spend that quality time with your person while you're still really young, and maybe have kids a little bit later. Things are different. So I respect that for Joey. And I feel similar to that in my own life. I'm 26. Like, I don't have any plans. But Lexi, I don't remember how old she is, but you know, she really wants to be a mom. And I respect that she left and made the decision for herself. I do think that you have to put work into a relationship. So I don't know if Lexi wants to meet someone and get married in 6 months and have a baby in whichever way that is. You know, that could be crazy. I think if she really wanted to be with Joey and Joey really wanted to be with her, they would have figured it out, and they maybe could have compromised. And I don't think that had to be the factor to end their relationship. I think Lexi knows, she just has a vision for herself. I don't know like what her dating life is like outside of the show, but I think that I respect that she dates with intention. And I also think that she is going to have to be patient. And, you know, not every guy wants to rush into things. And I don't know if she wants to rush into things, because Joey did say 5-6 years, which is a lot. Like 2 years might be more reasonable and logistic for Lexi. So, you know, this ultimately was the reason why they broke up. I am very shocked. I did see Lexi as a front runner from the beginning. Lexi was in my top 4 for a really long time, since day one. I was always rooting for Lexi. Turns out we actually have a mutual friend, so shout out Carly. I really thought that she was going to make it farther, but this week, as soon as she opened up on the group date, it kind of set the storyline for what was to come. And she sent herself home, and she said goodbye to Maria, and she said goodbye to Daisy. And now we go into a rose ceremony with only 8 girls left. And the tensions are high. Everybody's exhausted. I really respected Jen's confidence when she pulled Joey and taught him how to play piano right in front of the other women. That was so iconic. Jen gets so many points for that. Like, Jen is so great. She's beautiful. So there's going to be 2 girls going home, and everyone's kind of like shook, right? Because there's only 8 girls left. And like, Jess went home this week. Lexi went home this week. Like, now there's going to be 2 more girls going home. So Leia is like shaking in her boots, like dying to see Leia close out her drama and like get her takes on all the drama that she was in, because we just didn't get any this week. So she goes home. at the rose ceremony. Not surprised. I mean, as soon as like there was a final 6, like it was clear. Like Leia never had a one-on-one. She never got her one-on-one because she burned the date card in the fire. She probably could have used that. She could have stole Maria's date. That would have been amazing television, but she didn't want to. I don't know. Was Leia blindsided? If Leia wasn't blindsided, then I'm shocked. I can't believe she's 23 too. She's so young. I did see Bachelor Data post that she lost followers from last week's episode. I guess a lot of people thought she was a mean girl. You guys know, like whenever I have my opinions, but I'm always kind of neutral too. I don't know her. I don't think she's a mean girl. I think she's just really young. And I think that she is not as smart as she thinks she is. That's what I think. So, and it just was never going to work out with Joey. So she ends up going home, and so does Caitlyn. Caitlyn, she was the one that had like this curse in her family where like her mom and like her aunts and like there's like 5 of the sisters like all like are divorced or like never found love, and like Caitlyn wanted to like reverse the curse. I think she was like a scientist too. So I liked Caitlyn. She was different than the other girls. She had a little bit of a gothic style, which I appreciated. Like, you do you, boo. She probably like goes to really cool hipster bars and like has a cool social life. It was definitely not in the cards for her and Joey. I think that was obvious. They did have a great conversations this week, but when it comes down to like the nitty gritty, Caitlyn was not going to make it. So I was not surprised to see her go home. I was not surprised to see Leia go home. And I was not surprised to see Jess go home. Lexi, I was surprised. So out of the 4 girls who went home, I'm going to miss Lexi the most, and I was shocked about Lexi going home. I also did like watching Jess. I gave her a shout out on my Instagram story. So let's send some love to the fallen comrades. So now we're down to the 6 women. We haven't talked much about Kelsey A, but she's there. I feel like Kelsey A and Kelsey T could be on the block. We have Daisy. Of course, she had some one-on-one time with Joey this week where she asked for foot massages and foot rubs. Oh, Daisy, darling. That was fun flirting. I really think he's picking Daisy just based on like the way he talks about her in interviews and just like the way she was talking. She posted a TikTok where she's like, oh my God, it's so hard to watch it back and see all the feelings. And then Rachel's connection's coming in hot too. So I think that the final 4 could actually be Maria, Daisy, Rachel, and now Jen. So maybe the Kelseys. It might be time for the Kelseys to go home on next week's episode. And they're going to stay in Canada. And then it'll be hometowns. And then it will be the Women Tell All. And then there will be some type of finale. So can't wait. I'm super satisfied with this final 6. Once again, it's Kelsey A, Kelsey T, Maria, Daisy, Jen, and Rachel. Super, super satisfied. I really like this final 6 a lot. And I really liked this episode. It was different because there was no drama, but there was just like a lot of people who went home. Just like so many. Craziness. There's like no Bachelor Nation news these days. Like no one's getting pregnant. No one's breaking up. No one's beefing. No one is like getting married. So it's really just like Joey's season. And I did start watching Love is Blind. I posted some recaps on my TikTok, so you guys can go check them out. I will definitely be reviewing those more in depth. If you guys are watching Love is Blind, let me know in the comments. I will say that I do not like Jimmy. He completely ignored Chelsea on episode 6 in the Dominican Republic, who he's supposed to love. Chelsea made the wrong decision breaking up with Trevor, but Chelsea and Trevor never would have worked. But I do think that Trevor and Jessica would have been such a great couple, and I cannot wait to see what happens next week. But Trevor and Jessica and all the exes and Sarah Ann come in to see all the couples, because a lot of these couples are shaking in their boots. I gave my clear thoughts on my TikTok, so I'm just kind of repeating a couple of things that I said. But I really don't think Laura and Jeremy make sense at all. And I was rooting for AD and Clay, but I must have blinked or gone to the bathroom because some of my comments are saying that they're not meant to be together, but they seemed so happy when they saw each other for the first time. They couldn't get their hands off each other. So I was just like, wow, they're like really in love. And then that other couple seems really cute too, but I don't remember their names off the top of my head. But I'm kind of into the season of Love is Blind. It's just getting started. I watched episodes 4, 5, and 6 today. So I'm like, gotta watch it, gotta make an effort. I'm watching Traders, can't wait to watch that. And also, I started watching Deal or No Deal Island. So that show is gonna come out on Peacock, like NBC, February 26th. But I did get sent a screener, and I went to this activation in Hollywood the other day, and I got to play. I shared a clip on my page, go watch. But I got to play the Deal or No Deal Island. It was so much fun. I won $45, and I already spent it. Me and my friend Rivette got drinks last night, and the People's Choice Awards were on last night, so I watched that too. But I started watching Deal or No Deal Island, and I kind of like it. It's kind of good. There's 13 people, so I guess like somebody will get eliminated each episode, and like there's like group decisions, and like Boston Rob is on it, who I love from Survivor. So they sent me one more episode, so I need to watch that as well. Now that I'm caught up on Love Is Blind, that's my next project. And that is what I'm watching these days. So those were my thoughts on tonight's episode of The Bachelor. Let me know yours in the comments down below. I will be back tomorrow with another recap with Courtney Robertson. We'll talk more in depth about other things and other shows. So thank you all for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Give this video a big thumbs up. Hit subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next one. Ta-ta for now. Bye.